Hey there folks, and welcome back to the Gamer's Grotto. Tonight we're going to be playing Stray Gods, the role-playing musical. This game just came out yesterday for the PlayStation 5, the PS4, I believe, the Xbox 360, Xbox One, the Xbox One, and the Xbox Series X and S, as well as PC. Not quite sure if it's on the Switch, but yeah, so this game is really good. Think of it like a point-and-click style adventure game with RPG elements and, of course, lots of music. After all, it is called Stray Gods, the musical role-playing game. So there is a lot of music. Great voice cast, too. Troy Baker, Ashley Johnson, Laura Bailey, a lot of others. So we're going to be hopping right into this right now. Let's play some Stray Gods on the PS5.
Four hours. 4 hours in a rented gym that still smells like socks and childhood trauma. And where did it get us? Other than bored? The band wasn't even looking for anything specific. We just wanted change. We wanted to see who was out there, if they'd show up. Well, they showed up all right.
You know, I had a dream where this exact thing happened. Except we were on stage. And naked.
We were auditioning.
Not all of us. Okay, it was just me. I was naked. I think this went better.
Okay. Yeah.
Hey, we should consider that. We could be the Naked Band, coming soon to a really private auditorium near you.
You know, somehow I believe you'd actually do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a hard no. Okay, let's just wrap this up. Kaz, do you need a ride?
Just to Brian's. I'm, crashing on his couch until I get a new place.
What? You said it'd be 2 days.
You know you like having me around. Whatever.
Have you heard yourself snore?
Hey, Grace, you okay? I know you've been kind of loose ends since you left college. I was just hoping tonight would cheer you up.
I'm fine, Freddie. I'm really okay.
Yeah? You don't seem okay.
Well, I guess I just I just thought this would be easier, you know? How did I even get here?
I know. It's okay, Grace. I'm right here with you.
Music is your life, Freddie. You're the drummer, the lyricist. All of this was your idea. I wish I knew where I fit.
I think you fit. You know that, right?
Yeah.
You coming?
I'm gonna hang out a bit and lock up. I'll see you at home. Like a boat lost at sea, with no sails, not a breeze, I am drifting cold waters, no star to be seen. Is the world too much, or is it just me? Everything I set upon unravels at my feet. Everything I've learned wasted on a girl who doesn't know how to be free. Like a boat lost at sea, with no sails, not a breeze, I am drifting cold waters, no star to be seen. Oh,
Sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. I heard you from outside. My name's Calliope. You have an amazing voice. I hope you know that.
Thanks. I'm Grace. Are you here for the audition, or...?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Well, I'm afraid it's just me, Calliope. The rest of the band already left, so...
Well, I don't mind if you don't.
All right, well...
With the fire furious, I have burned my tongue. Grief from all the promises, too many dreams unsung. All the steps I didn't take and paths proved untrue. Is there any path through?
Like a boat lost at sea,
Though I'm about to
with no
end,
sails, not a
you
breeze,
still have your life ahead.
I am drifting cold waters, no star to be seen.
All things that lose their way can find it again. There is no inertia in the ocean.
So, this game has a lot of replayability. We have the option of picking various choices as to how we'll sing in the future songs and stuff like that, and how we'll come across when we're dealing with people, which you'll find out as the game goes on. The game has a really good story. and honestly, a lot of the music in it is amazing. Most of it is kind of hard rockish. It's not like this. This is just like the intro. So we're gonna go with Kick-Ass as our starting point, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, so for anybody who knows these two voice actors, Calliope is voiced by Ashley Johnson, best known as Ellie from The Last of Us, and Laura Bailey is, of course, voicing our main character, who is also in The Last of Us, at least part 2, as Abby, as well as the Spider-Man games as Mary Jane Watson. So both of these are very distinguished voice actors known in the industry. Now, as for Stray Gods, it is a Kickstarter-funded game, so it is not a AAA game. It is actually a very indie game, and a lot of its funding came from Kickstarter money. So it's actually a really cool premise, because I don't think there's ever been a game, aside from, you know, rhythm games, that have been musicals. I don't see it very often in games. It's been done here and there in the past, in games like Nightmare Before Christmas and stuff like that. But it's never really been a thing lately until now, which I actually like. I actually like this. This game reminds me a lot of Repo the Genetic Opera and The Greatest Showman, those kind of movies where, like, there is a story at its heart and a lot of acting, but at the same time they cut away to do a musical number. So that happens a lot in this game, and I think it meshed together with the story and the acting elements. It's really good. It's really, really, really good.
Maybe if I paddle hard enough, I'll fight the waves, try to be tough, and I belong to the sea.
Wow. What was that?
Your song was just so wonderful. I had to finish it with you. I hope that's all right. I also know what it feels like to be lost. To feel as if you have no place to turn. That's why I had to come inside.
I'm glad you did. That was... I've never experienced anything like that before.
I'd be surprised if you had.
What was that? It felt like... the music was everywhere, like it was coming from inside me.
It always has, Grace. Just as it was when I walked in. May I ask you why you feel so... adrift? You're so young. Surely your life is just beginning.
It would sound stupid.
Try me.
Well... I left school because I didn't feel like I belonged there, but I still haven't found my place. What am I supposed to do? Where am I supposed to go? Shouldn't I have figured this out by now?
Those are good questions to ask. I should go.
About the audition. I'm sure everyone will agree you're in, if you want to be, that is.
I hope to see you again, Grace. Perhaps soon.
Right. See you then.
So I'm sure you've noticed the. I'm gonna pause this for a quick sec. I'm sure you've noticed that the game is very comic book feeling. There is no real animation. There's just kind of like an interactive comic style. It took me a while to get used to that, but once I did, I really enjoyed it. As an artistic game, it's actually really good. Normally, I don't like graphic novel games, but for this one, I actually really enjoyed it. I felt like the animation really helped with the game's story and definitely the musical elements and stuff like that. It's actually really well put together.
Did you lose your keys, Fred? I thought you'd be... What the... Calliope?
I didn't know or else... I'm so sorry, Grace.
Oh, God. You're hurt. I'll get help.
No! No! You have to wait. You can't go. I didn't want to do this to you. Not like this. I'm so sorry.
What do you mean? Hey! Calliope! Please. Please, come on. What is that?
Oh, I can wait. Take your time.
Is that my door?
Technically, it's my door. Or our door, maybe? I came as soon as I could.
I think she's dead. We need help. You need to call someone.
Well, I'm someone. I got called. Happens every time one of us dies, you know? She really is dead, huh? Man. So, the course is gonna want to talk to you. Sucks, but, you know.
You are gonna tell me what's going on right now.
Whoa.
Who are you? How did you get here? What is happening?
All right. Jeez. Let me go. Look, I can see you don't know squat about this, so I'm gonna explain real quick, but then you gotta come with me, okay? When Cal died, you saw a shiny thing come out of her, right? That was her soul. That's what made her a god.
A what?
It's in you now, which makes you a god. Surprise, right? You with me so far? Cool. Let's go.
Where are we?
Sorry to drop you and run, but when an idol dies, there's like 100 different things I gotta do.
No, wait. Where did you bring me? How did we get here?
The chorus can explain. Don't touch anything. Okay?
Wait! Come back! Okay. Yeah. I'll just wait here and, not touch anything.
Our beloved sister, the last of the Muses, has passed on to you, our new sister, delivered to us by dear sweet Hermes. It's, Grace, yes?
Yes?
Oh, my. You have had quite the day, haven't you?
So Calliope is really dead. Even if she's a
god?
Yeah, a god.
Yes, we call it passing on, but yes, sadly it happens even to us. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Athena, goddess of wisdom. This is Apollo, god of prophecy, dressed for the occasion, as always. The wondrous Aphrodite, goddess of love. And the one glaring at you is Persephone, once queen of the underworld. Together, we are the chorus. We rule over the idols, our name for the gods who remain. All of us, hidden in your modern world.
Right, and you live here, not in some city in Europe or a...
On top of a mountain? Oh, I know. Once we roamed marble halls, and now, fashionably appointed apartments. We have Wi-Fi. We move with the times, Grace. We have to, if we're going to remain hidden and survive. The mortals grow more and more clever with each passing century. Television! I do what I must.
But gods aren't real. They can't be, they're just...
Stories, myths, legends.
If you're real, you'd be all-powerful. You wouldn't be hiding or...
Don't pay much attention to those old tales about us, Grace. They weren't very true to begin with, and, well, truth be told, we've diminished since those days. That doesn't mean we're helpless, of course. Far from it. Yet, at the end of the day, we too are just people, trying to get by.
You expect me to believe that gods, idols, have been living among us for what, thousands of years? You're thousands of years old.
Oh, no, I'm not trying to make you believe anything, not at all. If you'd like to believe this office is right outside your front door, or that we are, I don't know, actors, religious fanatics, by all means. The only thing I do need you to grasp is that you are here. This is real, and like it or not, it is happening.
Wait, you said, and Hermes said, that I'm a god now too. And an idol.
That is true.
That thing that came out of her that went into me.
We call it an eidolon, the part of Calliope's soul which made her an idol, which now makes you one.
Athena, we are wasting time.
The reason You're here, Grace. The reason why we made you wait so long while we debated is because we have rules. Those rules mean we can't admit into our ranks a usurper. Never mind a possible murderer. I know this will all come as a shock, and I'm so sorry to say it, but I'm afraid you have to die.
Die? You don't have that right. What, you think I'm just gonna stand here and...
Grace, please stop.
No, I'm not gonna stop. Who do you think you are, threatening me like that?
Calliope's blood is literally on your hands.
But... it isn't...
Oh, she looks so helpless.
Maybe we should do as we agreed. Calliope's line would end, yes, but what other option do we have? Let a usurper remain an idol?
Justice has to be done, for Calliope's sake.
But... this isn't justice!
You cannot hide from this reality.
I'm not hiding, though a little lost here.
If you are lost, little girl, this bears explanation. Dear child, please listen. You have usurped a muse. No recourse to be arranged.
But it's unfair.
I know, but our laws cannot be changed.
But she came to me.
You must realize there are simple rules. If one of us dies, these rules have been the tools that
You must know,
us.
I didn't do it. Is it weird this isn't song?
Now that the muse is gone, I'm afraid you'll have to see. The chorus is in accord. Justice won't be ignored.
I disagree.
Did I hear that correctly?
You've been quiet this entire time, Apollo. Why speak up now?
I grieve Calliope's loss just as much as the rest of you, but I can't let you do this.
He's right. What if Grace speaks the truth? What if Calliope chose her? And what if Calliope was murdered by her? What if Grace stole her eidolon?
Then we need to find out. Don't you want justice?
Oh, Apollo, I thought we'd agreed this was justice. What would you have us do?
There has to be some way to find the truth. Aren't you gods? Couldn't a god, I don't know...
We aren't seriously considering this.
Very well. This one time. I put a motion before the chorus. Do we allow Grace the right to prove her innocence?
Yes.
I think so. Yes. Fine.
And there we have it.
Wait, I'm gonna get some help with this, right? Some direction?
You say Calliope chose you. I would like to believe that. I truly would. You have 1 week to find out what happened, Grace.
What happens after a week?
There will be a trial. If you cannot provide proof of your innocence by then, our original verdict stands. —
Can someone explain to me just how I'm supposed to find the truth? I'm not a detective. I don't know anything about the idols.
Well, that's for you to figure out.
I knew you were gonna say that. How did I know you were gonna say that?
We're not going to keep you, Grace. You have much to do. Before you go, however, a few rules. Do not reveal our existence to the mortal world. This includes mortal authorities. They cannot help you. Do not harm another idol. Do not leave the city. Do as the chorus commands. Otherwise, do whatever you must to find the true killer, if they exist.
Oh, that's all?
Welcome, dear sister.
And do help yourself to a cookie.
Alrighty, so we've met the chorus. So Apollo is actually voiced by Troy Baker, best known as Joel in The Last of Us series. It's really interesting because when you think about it, every voice actor from The Last of Us is actually in this game. All the main voice actors, anyway. Anyway, so we're gonna hop back to the Grace's apartment. This game has multiple endings, as I said, based on your choices. It's one of those games, so there's multiple endings. Also, what you say, your decisions you make during song parts actually will affect the lyrics of the song. So if you pick a specific thing to say, it will actually affect the song's lyrics, and the song can go in a completely different direction. It can go from heavy to hard rock to heavy metal based on your choices. So it's very interactive. It's not just simply singing, listening to singing and stuff like that. There is a lot of choices you make that affect the overall story and the musical numbers.
Grace? Grace!
Hi.
Hi! 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 You're kidding, right? When I came home, the door was wide open. You weren't answering your phone. Kaz and Brian are still out looking for... Grace... We thought something happened to you. Wait, did something happen to you?
Yes, but you are seriously not gonna believe it.
One of those nights, huh? Well, it better be good.
I became a god, Freddy. For real.
You were gone all night. Why didn't you answer your phone? Okay, so what exactly are you the god of? Late night lattes? Skipping bad practice?
Smart-ass friends who never stop talking.
That sounds perfect. Can I be your high priestess? Oh, we should get some candles for the altar.
Hi there.
Who is this, Grace? Why does he have horns?
I did tell you about the god thing, Freddy.
Well, you got me there.
To answer your question, my dear, you see the horns because I allow you to see the horns. That's crazy, right? As for who I am, I've been known most often as Pan. So you call me that, if you must call me anything.
Pan, of the Greek gods, Pan, right? What are you, some kind of cosplayer?
The days of idols being called gods are well behind us, I'm afraid, but I assure you, I am the real article. I've come to offer our newest idol a helping hand. Or perhaps two. You do look lost, don't you?
Did Athena send you? She didn't say anything. I kind of assumed.
That you're on your own? Yes, you'd think she'd do a better job of explaining the rules, wouldn't you? But no, I'm here of my own volition. Purely out of the kindness of my immortal heart, I assure you.
Immortal? Wait, who's immortal? I'm sorry, I'm lost here.
So yeah, about that god thing, I wasn't kidding.
While also standing accused of murder. It's quite tragic.
Is there any way you could explain what's going on, Grace?
The prohibition is against revealing the idols to the mortal world. She's not the mortal world, is she? She can be trusted, can't she?
Why do I have the feeling that I'm gonna regret not leaving with Brian and Kaz?
Oh, I can guarantee it.
Okay, Freddy. Have a seat. Let's talk. Huh. That's it?
Huh? I guess. Do you believe in this, Grace?
Sure, but I had proof. I traveled through a magical door.
Which sounds extra cool.
I was a little distracted.
Well, I have a million questions, but I can ask them later. The important thing is that I am here to support my best friend.
What did I ever do to deserve a friend like you?
You sat next to me at lunch period, dummy.
Oh yeah, right.
My friendship comes with all sorts of benefits, up to and including the tracking down of supernatural killers.
Such darling camaraderie. It brings a tear to my eye. It truly does.
Speaking of killers...
Whoa, whoa, whoa. You wound me, dear lady. I've come to offer advice to our newest idol, a foundling who was set adrift most cruelly.
How did you know where to find me? Or know about me at all? You said Athena didn't send you.
A little bird told me, if you must know. Very useful, those little birds.
He's not gonna tell you, Grace.
There's not much to tell. Among the idols, news travels swiftly. We are a tiny village of godly busybodies. I heard of your arrival, and I know how obtuse the chorus can be. So here I am. You're welcome.
So you're here purely for my sake, then? Like a charity case?
My dear sweet girl, as far as you're concerned, I am the god of charity cases.
But you're not, are you? Pan was the god of lust and mischief. Doesn't sound too charitable to me.
Ah, yes. The old tales of the gods. Such antics, such fantasy. Pay them no mind.
I still don't trust you. Nobody does anything for free.
Now. Who said I was doing anything for free?
Here we go.
I have not, however, asked for anything. As of yet.
You know, you could be the killer, for all I know.
Come to mislead you, perhaps. How fiendishly clever of me. Well called, darling.
And maybe even true.
Poor, poor Pan! To be eternally maligned and mistrusted. Alas, and alas, and alas. I doubt there's a line of idols waiting to offer you advice, Grace. But whether you accept mine or not is for you to decide.
Okay, I'll bite. What's your advice? I have to admit, I don't really know where to start.
Well, I'm not normally one to run amok telling others how to live their lives. But have you considered using your powers?
My powers?
Music, art, passion. You are the last muse, and all these are now your province.
What do you mean, my province?
Each of us has, how shall I say, our talents? Yours is music, as befits a muse.
You're like the original rock star, Grace.
Okay, but how does that help me find Calliope's murderer?
Allow me to expedite the process of understanding. Now then, close your eyes. You hear that? It's coming from you. When you sing, what emotion does it summon?
I don't know.
You open your eyes, you look into the crowd, and you feel
powerful.
Grace, you know that you're lost now. You've been given powers you don't understand. I'm the guy who can help you. All that you hear is at your command.
Wait. No, it's okay, Freddy. This is all me? What do I do?
Start singing.
Now?
Why not? Time's a wasting.
Not about to just trust you. You barge in and take over the place. I don't know what I must do, but here's what you can do. Get out of my face. I'm doing it right now.
You're a natural girl.
I don't follow. Are those really actual horns? And this singing is so hard to swallow. Can you hear me, Grace? What's going on?
So sorry you had to be here for this. I'm in the dark too as you're hearing this. Like I know that I'm in full control, cause the words and the tunes I feel here in my soul. If this is a power, I'm not overthinking it. If this was a drink, I'd be drinking it. But someone is dead and I'm losing my head. Like the goat said, this is my time, time to shine. This is my time, time to shine. Grace, nothing makes sense here. And won't the carpet be covered in fleece? And you said someone died here. Shouldn't we then just call the police? Sing it, Freddy, I hear you. We've only just met, now he's my new best friend. Now I'll owe him a favor. And what will he want in the end?
Is that gonna be here all the time?
How dare you? You don't know me.
If she has to be, pass me some wine.
Grace, is this how you let strangers speak to me? Freddy looks out for me, always been my friend. You're a bipedal something. What are you again?
I'm the guy who can help you along.
I'm the girl who can help sing her song, cause it's my time, time to shine. This is my time, time to shine.
Well, go on then. Shine.
I can do whatever I want.
Well, you can't stop time, so...
Grace, I'm frightened.
It's okay. I think I got this.
I never knew I had that in me. That said, I'll never do that again.
Grace, you're starting to comprehend. Let me show you more, or show me the door.
Good idea. I just sang soprano.
The showing or the door part?
My body's shivering, blood is thickening, skin is shimmering. You guys are bickering. That's it. Shut up. This is a wreck. If I had 4 hands, I'd grab you both by the neck. This is my life and it's happening to me. If we can't work this out, it's just gonna be my time. Time to shine.
Time for you to decide.
My time. Time to shine. He's taking us both for a ride. My time. I could go it alone. Time to shine.
Sorry to break it to you, Pan, but I'm not abandoning my best friend.
That's your choice. Humdrum mortality.
How about trusting in those who love her instead of those who want to use her?
Oh my, such drama. No matter how you employ it, Grace, this is the power of a muse, drawing out that which lies within. I trust you can see how that might be useful in your investigation.
Sure, but I have to admit, I didn't feel completely in control.
Of course not. A song goes where a song goes, Grace. It will only go where it wishes. A muse does not command. She evokes. She elicits. She inspires.
Look, Creepo, Grace already told you to take a hike.
So she did. Allow me to get to the point then. For all your powers, you still need a place to begin your search. And this I can provide. An address in the city where Calliope was staying, I do believe.
If you had that all along, why not look into it yourself?
Me? Conduct a search like some plebeian. Unheard of. Now this I consider a favor. One I hope you'll remember in future dealings.
That's perfect. We can look for clues there. What this Calliope was doing, who her enemies were.
I should remind you there is an element of danger. A killer is on the loose, no?
No worries, I got this.
Oh?
Whatever my magical song powers can't handle, I'm sure a boot to the head will.
I see.
I need to find Kaz and Brian. Just tell them you're okay. If, not the other stuff.
Then I guess I'll go check this place out on my own.
So glad that's settled. I'll let you get to it. I've drinking to resume. Ta-ta.
Alrighty, so we're making some progress here. Pan, honestly, to me, is... It's honestly weird how he shows up right after Calliope's murder and kind of just makes himself at home as your friend. So I don't really trust him, so I don't really go with his... I mean, now, this game has a lot of replayability and different outcomes, so obviously you can side with Pan if you wanted to, but for me, I just feel like he's too... he just appears out of nowhere, then expects you to trust him right away. It's very suspicious. Now, do I think he's the murderer? No. But I think he may be helping the murderer, possibly. I don't know. I've never actually beaten this game. In my other playthrough, I am quite far, and it is quite a long game. There's a lot of twists and turns. It's really good. The story is fantastic, and the musical numbers are freaking amazing, especially later on in the game when they near the beginning they're very calm, but the music starts to get heavier and heavier as we go on, so it becomes kind of hard rockish. Anyway, enough jabbering. Let's go to the Muse's hideaway and continue our investigation into Calliope's murder.
Oh, it's open. That's not a good sign. This is Calliope's apartment? I don't know what I was expecting, but... not this. Hello? Oh, sure, Grace, good job. Just announce to the killer that you're here. I better have a look around. How do you even get one of these?
Did you seriously just ask how to get a guitar? I believe you go to a store and buy them? That's a bit confusing. Aren't you supposed to be a singer? You should know. You're a part of a band. You should know how to get a guitar.
After Calliope left the audition, where did she go? Did she follow me? Did she come here? Did she paint that? Looks like it belongs in a museum. Andy Warhol, yeah, that makes sense. I wonder how many celebrities she knew. Right. These aren't... Do I inherit these as the new muse? Is that even okay to ask?
Nope.
I can't believe this is just
Why
an
would
ironic photo of Elvis and she wasn't like his muse or...
Why would you be concerned about whether or not you're inheriting a drum set when you could possibly die in a week? I mean, the overall goal here is to find Calliope's killer before the end of the week, otherwise we get executed. So, whether or not you inherit drums should not be on the top of your mind.
A giant harp. Of course there's a giant harp. So many instruments in here. Did she play all of them? I don't see anything useful down here. Maybe there's something upstairs? Oh man, keep it together, Grace. It's just your average, everyday...
There were only 3 muses, you know, not 9. Whenever they found someone who made something truly masterful or created a new art form, they'd pass on their idol on, take a new name. You see, that's how the mortals became confused. They got it wrong. Like they got almost everything about us wrong.
You're Apollo, right? God of prophecy? One of the chorus.
Sometimes I am, yes.
What does that mean?
It means... It means sometimes I just feel like an old man who's lost too many friends. If I may ask, how did you find this place? And what are you doing here?
Pan told me about it. I was hoping I could find something, some clue about what happened.
You've already met Pan? How odd.
Well, at least he lifted a finger to help me. For his own gain, maybe, but it's better than nothing.
I honestly wish I could help you, Grace. You and Calliope both deserved better.
I should thank you for, speaking up for me.
It wasn't right, what they were doing.
It still isn't. I still need help.
I'm not disputing that, Grace. I just don't think that I'm the one to help you.
This room is a mess. Did you do this?
With this? It was like this when I got here.
And you didn't think that was in the least bit strange?
I didn't think much of it. I came here to be reminded of Calliope, not to search through her things. That and it's cleaner than my place.
Yeah, I don't know if we want to see your place. Okay. Do you live in a landfill site?
So you didn't mess up the room, but someone must have. There could be a clue.
No, nothing that I've seen. All this mess, as you put it, is likely the result of her projects.
Her projects?
When Calliope got an idea in her head, she would obsess over it, sometimes for months, even years. I don't know what she was involved with lately, but this... for her, this is nothing.
Can you tell me about Calliope? I barely knew her, but she seemed...
She was a beautiful soul, if troubled.
Troubled?
She thought the idols had lost their way. She argued with us, with all of us, that we needed to change. We hadn't spoken in years. I hadn't seen her home before today. I'd rather not talk about it.
Why can't you help me exactly? Pan said there's no specific rule against it.
It's not that I'm forbidden to help you, Grace. It's that you don't want my help.
Of course I do! You have to know more than me about almost everything!
My help will only make things worse.
How is that possible? I've been sentenced to death.
And without my help, you stand a chance of avoiding that fate.
So you won't answer my questions. You're sitting here in the dark. You say you're mourning Calliope.
What are you insinuating?
I don't know you. For all I know, you could be the killer. You came to get rid of evidence, maybe, or you knew I was coming and you're here to throw me off.
That's ridiculous.
Is it? The only thing you've said is that I don't want your help, but that's ridiculous?
I can't do this.
I don't have anywhere else to go.
Meaning?
Meaning I'm not leaving until you give me something. I wouldn't do this if it wasn't literally life or death. But I need to know what the problem is.
I haven't sung in centuries.
According to Pan, I can't force anyone to do anything.
Phantom pains from a missing friend, feeding thoughts, thoughts that never end. What did I do? What didn't I do? Here she is, only in your head. Long gone fights, but they're never dead. What did I do? What didn't I do?
Anytime I'm stuck on what I did and didn't do, I just scan the distance for the next thing. What is the next thing for you?
The next thing, she often said that too. We were statues hiding under sheets, collecting dust. She burst through the door and shouted, next thing. Come to the next thing.
Calliope, she's the way to be. Facing out, finding ways to see beyond what's dead, reaching ahead.
Yeah, that was her. A meteor, a blazing star, and she was no more. What did I do? What didn't I do?
You know she would shout, no more living in your head. Go out to the world and find the next thing. Look for the next thing instead.
But I've tried.
Never with me. We haven't tried.
Let's see.
Always knew that you would come around.
That hidden voice, it will always play. It's on a loop, it will always say, what did I do? What didn't I do? It's a song you can't erase, but you can make a tiny space for something new.
The next thing.
The next thing. The next thing. Very well, I'll help. Though I'm uncertain what you expect me to do.
Athena called you the god of prophecy, didn't she? Isn't that telling the future?
Prophecy is the last thing you need, Grace.
It'd be helpful if you could explain why, exactly. This is all new to me, remember?
Yes, of course, that's true. It's so easy to forget that. To receive a prophecy is not simply to be told what might happen, it's to be told what will happen. To know a prophecy is to be bound to its outcome. Only in ignorance is one free to choose.
What? That makes no sense. If you tell me I'm gonna fall into a hole...
Then you will.
No, but I'll just avoid holes. All holes, any hole.
And the act of trying to avoid them is what will make you fall. Worse, prophecies are never crystal clear. Sometimes you won't understand the full meaning until it's too late.
So you have a power you won't ever use because all it does is hamstring you. Yikes.
Welcome to my life. But there might be something else I can do to help. Come with me. There's someone I'd like you to meet.
This is where you live?
Oh, yes. Sometimes. And excuse the mess. I don't get many visitors.
This really explains why you didn't notice anything at Calliope's apartment.
Well, don't hold back on my account, Grace.
You said I'm here to meet someone?
Ah, yes. Do you know what an oracle is?
Someone who tells the future?
Not quite. They serve as a channel of sorts for my powers. This allows them to offer insight, knowledge they have no earthly means to possess. There's always been one. Over the ages, no matter where I go, one manages to find me.
Meaning there's an oracle here.
There is.
What?
I have brought someone to see you.
How many times do I have to tell you? I'm not a magic fortune cookie. Is that what Paul told you? Oracle's my handle. And even if I was the Oracle, I'm certainly not his oracle.
You know what Apollo is, right?
Oh, I know what Paul says he is. Just because someone says they can fly does not make them the Tooth Fairy. Look, I'm sure he told you all sorts of nonsense. I use computers. I'm a hacker. That's it.
I ask very little of you, Oracle. Your help here would be appreciated.
Fine. Don't get your abs in a twist. Okay, so Paul brought you all this way just to see little old me. What's on your mind, sis?
You keep saying Paul. Do you mean Apollo?
Yeah, I know. Apollo, if that is his real name, says he's a god of prophecy, blah, 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 blah.
But you don't believe him.
Believe him? Who'd believe that? It's super weird, but he's a decent guy, so he can be Apollo if he wants, but I just can't call him that.
So you're an oracle who uses the internet, huh?
Like I said, it's my handle, and yeah. It's a sweet setup, huh? Some of it's even legit.
The parts I purchased for her, presumably.
Bargain for, fair and square. And I keep telling you to get me an Ethernet cable.
I don't know what that is.
It's the 21st century, Paul. And your 21st century oracle needs her some download speed, okay?
Do you live here?
I crash here, yeah. Better here than home.
She showed up one day, as the oracles do. Naturally, she is welcome to stay as long as she likes.
And see the way he talks. I thought maybe he was a creepiverse, but nah. Paul's aight.
The highest of praise.
He'd be more alright if he did some laundry.
Tell me, is Apollo always so...
incredibly emo? Like a sack stuffed with sad?
I am standing right here.
Don't get me wrong. It grows on you after a while.
Grace, surely this is not what you came for.
Oh, I don't know. It's cute watching you get all flustered.
Well, it's hardly productive, is it?
See, there you go again.
Ugh. Get a room. A different room.
I'm looking for information about someone named Calliope. Can you help?
Oh, the lady from that apartment I sent Paul to. Yeah, I've been checking that out.
What did I tell you?
I looked it up. You could do the same if you learned to use a computer. Here, hold up, I'll show you. There. The apartment was originally purchased 2 years ago by a holding company, Core with a K Enterprises.
Oh, I see. That would be Persephone.
Persephone is in the one from the chorus. The one who wanted me dead, Persephone.
I wasn't aware Persephone and Calliope were friendly. Certainly not friendly enough for Persephone to give Calliope an apartment. The good news is that Persephone is easy to find. I can take you to her if you like.
Whatever happened to, I can't help you, Grace. I'll just make it worse, Grace.
I admit, you've got me curious.
Great! We're all done now.
Thank you for your help, Oracle. Please, do try to get out from behind your screens at least once today. Perhaps go for a walk.
Yeah, sure, will do. Leave a tip on your way out.
Alrighty, so now we're on our way to the Underworld nightclub where Persephone runs it. And there's going to be, obviously, so almost every location has at least one musical number. And again, fully interactive musical numbers where you can change the lyrics. And the lyrics are actually part of the negotiation process. While they are singing a song, oftentimes the song will have repercussions on how you speak to people and how you advance the story. So it's all kind of interconnected to the main story. It's actually really cool.
Welcome to the underworld.
Wow. How have I never heard of this place?
Persephone keeps it a secret, while still managing to draw a crowd every night. Don't ask me how. Here in the underworld, idols can be themselves, even if they don't look human.
Persephone runs a nightclub called the Underworld. It's a little on the nose, isn't it?
Maybe, but I wouldn't say that to her.
Still, it seems like a weird thing for a god to do.
We all get through the years somehow, Grace. If we're to find Persephone in all this, we'll need to split up. Have you considered what you'll say to her?
All I know is if she's spoiling for a fight, she'll get one.
It might come to that, I suppose.
You're not gonna try to stop me?
Sometimes strength is the only thing Persephone respects. You need to be prepared to use your powers, as you did with me. Come find me in the crown if you need anything. Otherwise, be careful, Grace.
Now again, a lot, I can understand how a lot of people would probably not appreciate this game because of the art style. I mean, it is kind of weird. It's kind of like almost like a graphic novel meets like a comic book style game. But after a while, it kind of grows on you. Near the beginning, I didn't much care for it either. I was like, I kind of wish that there was more animation style and, you know, the characters at least mouths moved to their dialogue. But in the end, as I played more and more of it, I started to really appreciate it a lot more for what it is, which is really a very artsy style game. I don't know, like it's really cool to me, mainly because it's so unique. I mean, we don't often see games like this. We see adventure games and role-playing games and the like very similar to this, but not ones that are in this style of animation and with certainly with musical numbers. It's not very often we see that at all in games. Obviously we see scenes where characters sing in games and stuff like that, like in Kingdom Hearts and stuff like that. But we don't have full control over the songs like we do here, where we can, a single push of a button can change an entire song's lyrics at random. So we're going to talk to Eros first. Now, Eros is played by, I can't remember his actual name, but he goes by the Twitch name Absy Babsy. Now, he is best known for voicing Bayek in Assassin's Creed Origins. He is the voice of Eros in this game.
Oh, hey. You're the new muse, aren't you?
I guess I am, yeah.
Aphrodite mentioned it. Didn't figure I'd see you here, though. Oh, excuse the manners. Name's Eros, god of sex.
Wait, did you say that you're the god of sex?
Desire, really. Sensuality. Attraction. Why? Were you expecting a chubby little flying baby with a bow and arrow?
I wasn't...
I actually preferred Cupid, but Pan had to be the trickster. Spread all those stupid stories.
I'm sorry?
Why? It's not your fault. Just another grudge I get to carry around forever.
You know Aphrodite, right? I only met her the once.
Sure, she's my mother. You know how it is.
How would I know? New here, remember?
Oh, right. Yeah, sorry. I wasn't thinking. But you hear a lot of idols talk about each other like that. You know, mother, brother, sister, grandfather. None of us are actually related. We just played a family for so many centuries. It may as well be true.
So Aphrodite is your mother, but not really.
That's right. A long time ago, she took care of me when I needed taking care of. The mortals, they just assumed. These days, well, it's not like that anymore. We're not as invulnerable as we used to be. Least of all, Aphrodite.
The god of sex at a club. Looking for someone?
Once I might have, sure. Now I'm just here to see it happen.
See what happen?
Look out there. See all these people. The hope, the anticipation, the connections, they bounce off each other. To me, it's like lightning.
And you enjoy that?
I used to make it happen, you know. Mortals once begged me to make it happen, to inspire true love. But now I only inspire sex. Not the same thing. It's just as well. People should find true love the hard way. They'll value it more.
You seem a little distracted. Is everything okay?
Of course it is. Sure. Not obvious, huh? Truth is, I don't come here that often. No, it's hard to get away. I just want... No, never mind.
Even idols have their bad days, huh?
Bad weeks, bad months, bad centuries. But who am I talking to? You're the one with your life on the line.
Here's the thing. I'm looking for Persephone, but I can't find her anywhere.
Well, I know where she is, but I question whether she'd be happy to see you. Look, I like you, but Mother told me what happened at the chorus. I don't want to cause trouble with Persephone.
She's that scary, huh?
It's not that I'm scared of her. Well, maybe a little. You haven't been around long, but once you have, you'll learn that idle grudges are forever.
I don't know Persephone well, but considering what I do know, I don't blame you.
I know it's lousy, and I'm sorry. I hope I can make it up to you someday.
I'll see you around?
Count on it.
Whoa, you're here. I mean, you gotta be somewhere, but you're here.
Hello, Hermes.
Sorry about running off on you back at the thing. Didn't really have a choice, but sorry anyway.
You're not much like the other idols, are you?
No? I haven't been an idol very long. Maybe like a year? I lost track. So, I'm not the one to ask about the idol stuff. It's all cool, but mostly I do whatever Athena asks. Athena says one day I'll sit on the chorus. That'll be sick. Can you imagine me in charge?
Yeah, no, not really. No, not at all. I feel like that would be the apocalypse if you were in charge. If you were in charge, yeah, that's probably a very, very bad idea.
I really can't.
Wow, you sounded just like Apollo there. Yeah, I thought I saw him here. Dude needs a chill pill. Or a happy pill. Or both.
You've only been an idol for a year? How did that happen?
Probably same way it did with you.
Oh, the old Hermes died in your arms and then they accused you of his murder?
No. Well, yes. I mean, no, not like that. But yeah. I was there when he died. We were friends, and I was having trouble at home, and he helped me out. I miss him.
Can I ask how he died?
He didn't want to be here anymore.
You mean?
I'd rather not talk about it. I'm him now. It's all good.
When Calliope died, you were right there. Within moments. How did you know?
I told you. I got word, so I came.
But how did you get word?
Look, when an idol dies, I have to be there. So I just know. It's a Hermes thing.
To take the body, clean up the blood, that sort of thing?
Oh, that too, yeah. But that's on Athena's orders.
To keep the idol secret?
Sure. Can you imagine the questions? I don't know how we hide so well as it is.
This is probably a stupid question, but... do you know who might have killed Calliope?
Ugh, why would I know anything about that?
When you came to the apartment, it seemed like you knew her.
Oh no, I only met her once. She didn't live with the rest of the idols or hang out with us very much. She seemed nice though. Angry, maybe. But I don't know who'd want to hurt her.
You don't seem that sad about it. Not like Apollo.
He's sad about everything. As for me, I don't know. Part of her's in you now, right? That's how I see it.
Do you know if Persephone is here? I need to talk to her.
Oh, you're serious. Why would you want to talk to Persephone? Nobody ever wants that. One time, I laughed too loud near her, and she threatened to ban me from the club. I don't want to be banned. I like it here.
Pull yourself together. Are you gonna let Persephone boss you around forever?
Maybe?
No, you do that, she'll be walking all over you for centuries. You're a god.
Yeah, I'm a god.
You never know, she might be impressed, right?
Oh, heck yeah. Yeah, let me know when you want to find her. I'll even stand way, way back while you chat.
Yeah, that worked really well. I'll even stand way, way back while you chat. So, he's still a chicken. He's still scared of Persephone. Alright, so now we're gonna talk to Pan, and then we'll talk to Apollo, and then we'll get to the main course with Persephone.
As I live and breathe, If it isn't our dear muse.
Hi, Pam.
Tell me, have you decided to leave your troubles behind and join us in the land of shadows and revelry?
I'm guessing it's a total coincidence that I'm running into you here.
It must be. The alternative would be that I knew a great many things ahead of time.
Well, did you?
Do I look like an oracle? I am here to listen to thrilling music and meet delicious people. My tastes are simple.
Uh-huh.
Speaking of simple tastes, my glass is empty again. The service here is appalling.
I assume you're a regular at this club?
And why would you assume that, dear Grace?
The horns, you... Do you know Persephone well?
There is no knowing Persephone well. She won't have it. Not anymore.
Not anymore?
Long ago, we were all very different. Over the span of ages, however, even mountains erode.
The things you say, the things you don't say. You don't make yourself seem trustworthy. You know that?
Trust is for the weak and the penniless.
Still not helping.
Why, Grace, are you assuming that I, Pan, am some sort of scoundrel?
Either that or a murderer. One of the two.
Well, I didn't realize you saw me as dangerous.
You think it's funny?
I think everything's funny, Grace. It's part of my charm.
I should thank you for the address. It's what led me here.
No need to thank me. You'll owe me. Remember, how you managed to stir the sun god from his oh-so-tiresome gloom, I cannot imagine. Nicely done.
Apollo keeps saying he'll make everything worse, but he's been helpful.
That is his way, to be helpful. Until you turn into a tree.
I don't know what that means.
Let us hope you never do.
I should get going. I'm sure I'll see you soon.
One can only hope.
Yeah, more and more, Pan is not making me want to trust him at all. I do think he is somehow related to Calliope's murder. He's just... There's something about him.
I thought this would be easier, but it's as if Persephone left instructions to thwart me. Every staff member I approach screams and runs off. I hope your search has been more successful.
You don't come here often, I'm guessing?
Never. I'm sure Persephone only sent the membership as a formality. I doubt she thought I'd ever use it.
Don't you ever have fun? No drinking or dancing in Apollo land?
Once. When I had the muses to keep me company.
I'm a muse now. I can keep you company.
Nothing would make me happier. But you do have a predicament to solve first.
It might help if I knew more about Persephone.
It couldn't hurt. What would you like to know, exactly?
What's Persephone's story? Her name rings a bell, but I don't...
No doubt you've heard the tale of how Hades, lord of the underworld, kidnapped a young sweet goddess and made her his wife.
That sweet young goddess was Persephone.
Mm-hmm. Her mother, Demeter, was so enraged she blanketed the world in ice, rendering it barren and infertile. Zeus was forced to act. He decreed that Persephone would be shared between Demeter and Hades, and thus the matter was resolved. Well, you asked. That's her story, as the mortals tell it.
So tell me, how much of Persephone's legend is true?
Well, let's see. Hades did kidnap Persephone. That certainly did happen. The idols almost went to war over it until Zeus intervened and ordered Hades and Persephone to wed. That quieted things. At least until Persephone killed Hades.
Whoa.
As I understand it, Hades was not kind to her. I'd like to say we handled it well. That Zeus and the idols were mindful of what Persephone had been through, but that would be a lie. Persephone was punished for the murder, the underworld taken from her, and we all stood by and let it happen. She has never forgiven us, and honestly, I can't blame her.
If I were her, I'd be mad at you all too.
Then you understand why things are difficult between us.
Wait, Persephone killed another idol.
Oh, long time ago, yeah.
What about all of Athena's rules? Wouldn't Persephone have been, I don't know,
executed? The murder of Hades is probably why we now have that rule. Back then, we heard Persephone had usurped Hades' throne, but we couldn't believe it. It just wasn't done. Now, of course, I look back and think we should have seen it coming. Oh, the benefit of hindsight.
Why didn't you see it coming? You're the god of prophecy.
When I look, I learned long ago not to.
I thought she was just mad at me, but everyone seems afraid of Persephone.
Noticed that, did you? Persephone is angry with everyone, and has been for a very long time. I've told you why. But it's more than that. She does not let go of a grudge. 1,000 years could pass, and Persephone will remember what you did like it was yesterday.
So what happened to Persephone after...
the murder? She survived, like the rest of us. She got older, and when we came to the New World, I think she would have left us if it was allowed. It isn't, so instead she did as she pleased. She started a cult, became a crime boss.
Oh, what?
It was after her last transition, but honestly, I have no insight into anything Persephone does these days.
I found someone who will bring me to Persephone.
Finally! I'll be right behind you.
You're coming with me? But I thought...
She seems even angrier with you than she is with me. I might be able to mediate.
We'll see, I guess.
Are we not going to see Persephone? I thought you found a way to her.
I should get going. Persephone awaits.
Right behind you. If you're angry with anyone, Persephone, be angry with me. It was I who...
I will deal with you later. I was willing to leave you be, Grace. To wait until your guilt was certain. Yet here you are, in my domain, uninvited. Why? Are you here to beg for mercy? Are you here to challenge me? Should I be afraid?
What is your problem with me exactly? You've had it in for me the moment you saw me.
My problem? My problem is that I'm filled with questions, Grace. Filled to the brim. Do you really expect us to believe that Calliope chose you? What's the real story? Did you stumble across her as she lay dying and desperate? Are you an accident? Did you learn what she was? Did you torture her, hold her at the point of death until she agreed to hand over her eidolon?
Persephone, this isn't...
That's my problem, Grace. With you. And you can't make it go away.
That's it. I'm done talking.
Grace, I don't think
Forget it, Apollo. She's spoiling for a fight, so why not give it to her?
So it's a challenge after all. You hear that? You're in my house, little muse. You want answers? Fight for them.
A lost little girl, you shouldn't have come here. And I sure ain't in the mood to make new friends. Go home, little girl. The shadows drawing near, and you all alone. We both know how this ends. Let's see how far she bends. We all know how this ends.
Hello? Testing 1, 2, testing 3. Is this thing on? Are you testing me with your coterie, ogling expectantly? Heads up, wrecking me won't come for free. See, it won't be easy, Persephone, when I use the moves I bring blessedly. Shadows don't scare me, see, I'll survive it. Maybe you want to do this in private.
You're lost, little girl. You're wasting our time now. The gall of a squeaking mouse in a lion's den. Give up, little girl. The bus home is leaving. Seen it so many times, we all know how this ends. We all know how it ends.
Wait, you're she the Persephone? Oh boy, a celebrity dissing me. Now remind me, Peach, jog my memory. Sorry, not up on my ancient history. Underworld, now that rings a bell. Was it you who was married to the king of hell? It's hazy, Hades, so you're his lady? Before my time, because I'm such a baby. Please teach me my ABCs, me. I never featured in Euripides. So where are they now? Wow, look around. You're the big cheese of a hole in the ground.
Don't you have any idea what you're dealing with, child? Surprise, surprise, coins on your eyes. Give them to the ferryman. Get it in your little head. You're spitting at the queen of the dead.
You're not my queen pea, I'm alive. You got a real life muse in this basement dive. You could use a boost. Should I play a gig? Hey, word of mouth works, P. It'll be big.
Get lost, little girl.
I need a room and a rider and a cut of the bar.
You're making me angry.
I got needs, you see. Say please, I'll bring keys and a couple guitars.
You don't want to know how far we could
You
descend.
haven't fun yet? I'm sorry, what's up? Let me guess how it ends. Frankie already said.
Back off, little girl.
We're young, you're old, we live, you
You're
die.
asking for trouble.
The end, see, that's how time works. Bye-bye.
You wanna push me, so look and see how this ends. How this always ends.
Don't you have any idea how you sound right now? We hear it all the time. The world is full of ghosts, and nothing's
walking on dust down here now. Maybe that's your cue. Time's come to move on. Make space for someone new. Someone not as bored as you. Maybe this new muse will do.
Don't use that word. You have no right to use that word. After what you did to her. Why don't I just kill you and wipe the floor with you? Don't use that word. You have to fight to use that word. You don't go in and take. That's your biggest mistake. For Calliope's sake.
Wait, what word? Muse? Not use it at all? Not cool, screw you, see it's not your call. Not a kid, but I'm innocent and I can explain. See my sunshine coming at the end of your rain. Say my name, say my name, say my name. Say hey you lost little girl, I've stolen the show now. A breath of some fresher air, that's enough of them. Know now how it's gonna end. How it's gonna end. How it's gonna end.
Is that enough, Persephone? Do we need to go another round?
Just tell me one thing. What prompted this little visit of yours?
We went to Calliope's apartment, and we know that you own it.
I see. Follow me, then. Calliope came to me years ago. She'd grown tired of arguing with the idols, tired of being branded a troublemaker. She couldn't watch the idols wither away without a fight. I knew how she felt, so I gave her the apartment.
You gave her that beautiful place? That's generous of you.
I had it to give.
Generosity isn't exactly what you're known for, Persephone.
I felt sorry for her, Apollo. Not that it makes any difference. It's been at least 2 years since we spoke. After I heard the news, I went to the apartment and turned it upside down. I had to know the truth.
That was you?
I didn't find anything. Nothing to say what she had been involved with, or gotten into, or who she might have been fighting with.
I don't know. That sounds suspicious.
I hoped I could find evidence, something that made sense. But no, it was only you.
I made sense?
You were there. You were covered in her blood. There was no other explanation. But now I'm not so sure.
If it wasn't Grace, that means someone else was behind Calliope's death. Someone who could keep their involvement hidden.
One of us.
Does it have to be an idol? You thought I killed Calliope. Couldn't it have been some other mortal?
Despite how he might look, it's not a simple matter to kill an idol.
It was difficult enough to believe you had done it. If another mortal killed her, they somehow escaped detection. We found nothing, no evidence of a battle.
You looked?
Of course we looked. What do you think was happening while you waited? If Calliope was attacked elsewhere, even magic revealed no trace of it.
Wait. Did you say magic?
You can battle me through a song in a world of your own creation, and yet magic is beyond belief?
Well, sure. I just thought...
We have our powers just as you have yours.
I can grow a field of corn like nobody's business.
Some would say our powers are also magic, but true magic is a different and older power. Hecate's domain.
And it was of no use here.
We shouldn't rule it out. We haven't tried everything yet.
Did Calliope have any enemies? The way you talk about her, she must have. What? What am I missing?
Calliope had a way of making people angry. She could be argumentative.
Yes, but enough to make enemies who wanted her dead?
Not that you or I know of, apparently, but that doesn't mean they didn't exist.
What about Pan? He showed up at my place out of nowhere, right after I left the chorus.
He did what?
I have to wonder what his angle is.
He has one, that's for certain. Though I've never thought of him as a killer. It would be too... messy.
Still, we should consider the idea. For him to show up so quickly is... odd.
For all I know, either one of you could have done it and you're just playing along.
Apollo is capable of many things, but lying? He was never any good at it.
Whereas we know how capable you are of murder.
Okay, this isn't...
The one and only god I killed deserved it.
Right. Sorry I brought it up. What about Athena? She seemed awfully insistent on declaring me guilty, don't you think?
Athena? No, Athena follows the rules.
Well...
Athena has one goal, and one goal only. To protect the idols. And that included Calliope. She'll eventually drive us all mad with her vigilance, but break her own rules? I don't see it.
Couldn't we go to Athena with this? If you've changed your minds and you're both part of the chorus...
Athena would be sympathetic, but... the die has been cast.
She won't go back on the edict, not without clear evidence.
Oh, now you want evidence?
She acted on the information she had. If we want to sway her, we need something better.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do. You know the idols. Don't you have any ideas?
I told you I wouldn't be of much help, Grace.
Did you now? That's unsurprising. When are you ever of help to anyone but yourself?
Says the woman who forced Grace to challenge her rather than answer a simple question.
Calliope died, Apollo. Calliope, who came with us all the way from the old world.
You think I don't know that? Are you forgetting what the Muses meant to me?
Well, I'm not giving up. That's right. You heard me. Maybe it's easy for you to throw in the towel. Why not? Your life isn't at stake. But I'm gonna fight. If I have to kick every ass on Olympus, I am getting through this.
Calliope, I'm listening now. Tell us what end you were doomed to.
Calliope, blinded by fire, one match did you strike that consumed you.
How could you blame her? What could she have done to earn such a fate? You are blinded.
God of the sun hides from his own eyes. What would you know about fate?
You say that you knew her, she was family to us, yet you don't hesitate to accuse her. Oh, queen without a throne, go bitter with fury. Not everyone seeks to betray you.
Stop this. Please remember what we are here to do.
We must avenge our muse.
Apollo, your help Help is not needed here. Go ahead and abandon another muse.
How could you throw that gauntlet at me? Could your heart shrivel any further?
You abandoned me to a terrible fate.
You replay your injuries till it's too late.
You know how far I bent before I snapped.
This is not about you. Enough! This helps no one.
There he is, God of the Sun.
Aren't you a queen with all that that means? Stop looking for a fight. These old wounds, they confine you. You're more than your pain.
She abandoned us.
Follow him or stay.
That was not my finest moment. Persephone will never let this go.
You kind of went dark and stormy back there. It was impressive.
I honestly thought I had left that behind me.
Left what? Signs of life? The world won't wither if you raise your voice, Apollo.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. I just wish old habits didn't return so easily around her.
Family thing, huh?
That's why I've tried to avoid my fellow idols for so long. I don't like who I am when I'm with them.
I know what you mean. I'll be 14 around my parents forever.
Try living in their house for 1,000 years.
Ooh, no thanks.
At least coming here was useful. You have a better idea of where to start looking, right?
I have to ask, is Athena really not an option? She wouldn't see what you see? At all?
I respect Athena. She has dragged us into the modern age, sometimes kicking and screaming. She's why we're alive. But if I said that her need to keep us safe didn't drive her to extremes, I'd be lying. You represent a risk, Grace. To her, that is more important than any notion of compassion or justice.
I'm not that much of a risk, am I? I won't explode. What's the worst that could happen?
The worst is that we could be admitting either a murderer or a usurper into our ranks.
How awful.
She's protecting an idea as much as a physical reality. It's true. To her, there is no difference.
I thought you'd decide that getting me into the underworld was enough.
What? Bring you to Persephone and then shrug? Not my problem now?
What I meant to say is... thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Sorry. I'm not used to asking people for help.
It's all right. I certainly know that tune.
Where do we look, then?
I need to give it some thought. This won't be easy. If another idol is behind this, they know as well. They had a plan.
So, you don't know where to look next?
I need time to sort it out. Just be patient, Grace.
Is there anything I can do in the meantime? Someplace I can look?
Don't you want to relax? You haven't rested since this began.
Relax? Who can relax? I've been sentenced to death, Apollo.
Fair point. Even so, go home, Grace. The next time you see me, I'll have a better notion of what to do.
Fine. But I'm holding you to that. Hey, Freddy. Have you been waiting up this whole time?
Yeah?
Hey, always asleep.
A goat man
You're
sends
kind
you
of
off
joining
into
this
the night. You're
pretty late. I've been playing this for about close to 2 hours now. I suppose I can keep it going a little bit longer. It's honestly really good. So this is Stray Gods. This is a game that came out yesterday for the PS5, Xbox, PS5, PS4, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S,
I was not
PC.
notified once again. Boo-ow.
It happens. I mean, you know, that's YouTube for you. But anyway, this is a really cool game. So quick premise here is you play a character named Grace, who is a rock musician, lead singer. She holds an audition for her band. A girl named Calliope shows up, sings like an angel, pretty much. And the next day, they agree to meet up. Calliope appears at Grace's door, and she's all covered in blood. And she dies in Grace's apartment. And then Grace is teleported to another realm where all of the gods, the gods like Apollo, Pan, like all of the gods, sentenced to her to a trial, saying that she killed this other god Calliope, and she has a week to figure. So they plan to execute her. Then Apollo says no, she should have a fair trial. So they agree that they're going to allow Grace 1 week to find the killer. If by the end of the week she doesn't find the killer, she will be executed by the gods. So that's the story of the game so far. Now it's an adventure game mixed with RPG elements, but at its core, it is a musical, which is really cool. Now, I'm saying like a musical as in like Repo the Genetic Opera, if you've ever seen that movie. It's kind of like that. So the music is kind of rock-based, and all of your choices will affect the lyrics of the music. So while the musical scores are going on, you can actually change the tune of the music and the lyrics of the music based on your choices. It can be like soft rock, hard rock, heavy metal, that kind of thing. It's an amazing game, and it was entirely Kickstarter funded, so it's not a AAA title. So in that regard, it's really good. The voice acting is phenomenal in it. They have some really big names in it. So Troy Baker, Laura Bailey, Ashley Johnson, lots of big names are in this game.
Interesting.
Life is on
I
the
know
line,
Repo.
and I'm gonna
As far as musicals go, I
But if
always
you were
liked
taken
that
prisoner,
one.
kept in a
Okay, so if you liked Repo, you are definitely going to like this game. Like, definitely. Because it's right up there with Repo. It's got the same kind of musical scores as Repo. It's really good. It's not like opera or anything like that. It's hard rock.
cave by a cyclops, or I don't know, turn into a tree. I was worried sick.
What is with the tree thing? Pan mentioned that too.
Yeah, Apollo kept chasing this woman named Daphne, and it doesn't matter. Important thing is, you're back.
I met Apollo tonight, actually.
What? No way. Okay, all right. You have to tell me everything that happened. Huh. Persephone runs a club called the Underworld. That's a little on the nose.
That's what I said.
And you ended up siding with Apollo? Lord of the Sun, god of prophecy? Do you trust him?
As much as you can trust an idol. I swear, Freddy, they're all nuts.
Oh, yeah. If they're even a little like the stories, you should be super careful. So, what are your options? You need to go back to Apollo's place, right?
I could go back to the Underworld. Make sure Persephone isn't taking my decision personally.
Oh, and, there's this. Pan left a card, says, "Come by Olympus." I doubt he means the mountain in Greece.
Huh. I wonder what he wants.
Probably to cash in his precious favor.
Still not a fan?
You know how some people just set your teeth on edge? That's Pan. I can't help it. But it doesn't matter. I said I'd help, and that's what I'll do. You can count on me, Grace.
Thanks, Freddie.
The muse! Oh, the embodiment of inspiration! Can you believe it?
Yeah, kinda.
All right, so we'll look at our journal quickly before we go further. So these are all the characters we've met so far, and there's a little bit of bios on everybody that we've met and we've interacted with. So Freddie, I only call her Felicia when I'm visiting her house. Her mom always makes these deep-fried honey snacks I love. Has been my best friend since probably forever. We used to make up rhymes while we skipped rope. It's been that long. We've come a long way from those days. Edge of Elysium is her band, and inviting me in was her idea. I was keen on joining since I haven't seen Freddie much since I left school, but it's been kind of rough going. I can sing, sure, and when we get a gig, it feels good being up there on stage. But is this really my thing? I don't know. Freddie was at the apartment when Pan arrived, so I had to tell her everything. Part of me feels bad for getting her involved, but I have to admit, none of this felt quite real until I did. If anyone can figure this out, she can. Greek mythology has been her thing since 7th grade, and I'm glad she was there to back me up during the song with Pan. When we put our heads together, we can handle anything. And of course, Freddie was waiting up when I got back from the underworld. She apologized for how things went down with Pan during that song. But honestly, I get it now. My power draws the good and bad out of people, and I don't always get to choose which it will be. At any rate, it's good that I have Freddie at my side during all of this. Oh. Calliope. I know, Calliope was one of the muses. Is that the same as being a god? That's really about it. I don't know where she lived, what she got up to, or who her enemies were. I have so many questions. For one, what was she doing when she found me at the gymnasium? Was she just passing by, or did she plan that? How did she know where I lived? I keep thinking about what Calliope said to me before she died. She seemed so sad. Did she know this was going to happen? Most of all, why did she pick me? It appears Calliope was staying in an apartment, one that belongs to Persephone, of all people. And it's actually not too far from mine. Could that be where Calliope was attacked? Am I crazy for agreeing to go check it out by myself? Calliope was one of 3 idols called the Muses, the last one still living, according to Apollo. Once, they were his constant companions, but in the last few years, they grew apart. Calliope was angry at how the idols had lost their way, and apparently argued with everyone a lot, which doesn't sound like the Calliope I met at all. If it's true, it means she wasn't the most popular idol, and there may be more suspects than I imagined. I visited Calliope's apartment. It was gorgeous, filled with every musical instrument you can imagine, and memorabilia dating back, 100 years or more. She had everything she could ever possibly want or need at her fingertips. Is this what it means to be the muse? Apparently, after years of arguing with the idols and making everyone angry, Calliope finally left Olympus. And that's when she became friends with Persephone, who gave her the apartment. However, Persephone says they haven't spoken in 2 years, so she doesn't know what Calliope's been doing lately either. Hermes is the idol who came to collect me at my apartment when Calliope died. I don't know their name at the time, of course. Athena only mentioned who they were afterwards. I guess they're the god of doorways, maybe? I wonder if they can go anywhere with that power. Into bank vaults, on top of a mountain, across the world? Pretty wild to think about. Could Hermes have been involved in Calliope's death? They seem surprised, if not really broken up about it. Not that Hermes strikes me as someone who does much deep thinking. They seem more like a kid, although I guess looks can be deceiving. Why did they have to come when Calliope died? And they did it right away, too. Kinda suspicious if you ask me. I ran into none other than Hermes at the underworld. I'm pretty sure they didn't follow me there. They were just kind of vibing. You know, for an idol, they don't seem that bad. Would you believe Hermes has only been an idol for a year or so? They talk a lot about the old Hermes, so I guess they must have gone through something like me. They were there when the old Hermes died, and its eidolon passed on to them. How often does that happen, I wonder? They answered one question at least, about how they showed up at the apartment so quickly. Apparently, when an idol dies, Hermes has to be there. Whoever Hermes is at the time, I guess, they were kind of closed-mouthed about it, but they just know. Strange story, but what else is new? Hermes helped me find Persephone. Either she didn't know I was there, or she was avoiding me. That place is huge. After I pumped them up a bit, they're not the most self-confident sort. Aphrodite is the goddess of love. And I can believe it. She has that sparkle when you look at her. Like she's one of those old-timey movie stars. All glamour and presence. I bet if she walks into a room, everyone stops what they're doing to stare at her. Why she's part of the chorus, I have no idea. She seemed kind of quiet and sad, like she's been busy writing some teary ballad in her head, and not really listening to what's going on around her. If Aphrodite is behind Calliope's death, then she hides it super well. Maybe you just naturally learn how to be a great actress after 1,000 years or so. How would I know? I don't know much about this Apollo. He's the only guy on the chorus, but he didn't say much of anything until he kind of defended me, I guess. At least he disagreed with the "you need to die" verdict. I guess I owe him one. If I actually owed anyone for giving me an extra week before they kill me. I'm not sure about that. Athena introduced Apollo as the god of prophecy. But I'm not sure exactly what that means. Don't prophets wear long robes and speak in big booming voices? This one looks less like a god and more like a surfer who crashed on the beach after a party and still hasn't found all his clothes. Could he have killed Calliope? I can't take anything for granted when it comes to these people. I went to Calliope's apartment and who should I find there? Apollo, sitting in the dark. In a room that had obviously been turned inside out by somebody, searching for something. He says he didn't do it, and that he was there mourning Calliope. They were close for a long time, it seems, but a rift between them a couple of years ago that never quite healed. Was it the kind of rift that might lead to her murder? For one, he keeps saying that helping me will do more harm than good. What does that even mean? According to him, his prophecies lock you into your fate as soon as you hear them. Which could be good or bad, I guess. Apparently they're not always 100% clear, so maybe he's right. Maybe it's better to not know. Thankfully, Apollo did have another way to help me. Namely, through a teenage computer whiz who lives in his dump of a home. The Oracle. Or just Oracle, as she insists. That's just her handle. She found out that Calliope's apartment was owned by Persephone, So we're off to her nightclub to ask her why. Wow, seeing Apollo and Persephone biting each other's heads off was really eye-opening. Do all the idols hold grudges against each other like this? If so, it's no wonder one of them got murdered. We got what we went for at the underworld, but Apollo and Persephone just couldn't stand working together for more than 5 minutes. Finally, he had enough, and so did I. Thankfully, Apollo is still willing to help me out. So much for, "I'll just make everything worse, Grace." But says he'll need to give our next step some thought. If there's an idol behind it all, then they're a tricky one. Which, you know, fantastic. Exactly what I needed. And we're almost done here. Actually, we can probably look at more of these later. I don't want to keep this from the story, to be honest. You get a good enough idea from what we just read. So we're going to go talk to Persephone, and then we'll go and talk to Apollo. I don't want to go to Pan's just yet, because I really don't trust him. I don't. I still have my...
As I recall, Grace, when I said stay or leave, you chose to leave. If it wasn't clear, I don't give second chances. Or did you have some other reason for darkening my doorstep?
I wanted to see you again. Make sure there were no hard feelings.
Oh, so it's a social visit then. Oh, let me be clear. There are no hard feelings. There are no feelings at all. You came, you got what you wanted, you left. Wherever you need to go next, I'm sure Apollo can take you.
There's nothing stopping us from being friends. We don't need to be allies.
As I said before, I'm still not convinced of your innocence. I'd say that stops us from being friends, Grace.
Really? Still?
Either you're guilty, in which case you won't be here long, or you're innocent, and we can speak after the trial. But one last word of advice before you go. If you want to survive, don't look to anyone else for help. Not Apollo, not Pan, not even me. You walked away from my offer, and I respect that. Make your choices and live with them.
Ah, Grace, you're back. That's good. I was just about to call you.
He means he wants me to call you, because Paul here still hasn't figured out how to use a phone.
That's not true. I know how, I just don't like them. They're confusing. Anyhow, I've been contemplating our list of suspects, and I think Pan is someone we need to consider.
Wait. You don't like phones?
I just don't like talking to people I can't see.
No, it's the ringtones. They scare the crap out of him, I kid you not.
I'm not frightened. Only a child would be frightened. They're just very loud.
Yeah.
Can we return to the subject of Pan, please?
Why Pan? I thought you'd rejected him as a suspect.
Persephone did, but I've had time to think it over. Pan is a schemer, a traitor in favors. He always has been. His sudden appearance in all this cannot be coincidental.
You think he could have killed Calliope after all?
Perhaps. Or he knows who did and is trying to turn it to his benefit. He always knows more than he pretends.
You should know. Pan asked me to meet him at Olympus. I'm not sure why.
Wait, he wants to see you again? I don't like this.
Neither do I. He decided I owe him a favor after he came to my apartment.
That sounds about right for him. Aphrodite is holding a party of sorts, one you should attend. She is closest to Pan. Indeed, she knows almost all the idols. If anyone is up to something, she's bound to know.
What do you mean by a party of sorts? I mean, I'm always down for a party, but...
It's more of a remembrance than a party, really. It's difficult to describe.
That's awfully vague, Apollo.
It'll be easier to see for yourself. It's nothing you can't handle.
You know Aphrodite better than I do. Can't you talk to her?
Well, talking to Aphrodite isn't something anyone does with much success these days.
Well, if that's the case, what makes you think I'll get anywhere?
There's a standing invitation for the Muse to attend this party. Calliope never went, so Aphrodite will be thrilled to see you. Trust me. If I thought you couldn't get her to talk, I wouldn't suggest it.
I still have that invitation from Pan. Maybe it'd be easier if I just went to see him.
You could, but would you believe anything he had to say?
I could always beat the truth out of him.
Well, whatever you do, be careful. I still think Aphrodite is our best bet.
Okay, I'll go. Eventually.
Perfect. I will see you there.
Paul, you should see this. The names you wanted me to look up are getting weird results.
I don't doubt it. I was hoping you could...
Get over here!
No worries, Paul. I'll see you later.
Okay, his apartment is still showing up, so I wonder what happens if I go back to it again. If it's going to bring up what they were looking for on the computer.
Welcome back, Grace. Is there something you came to discuss?
Oh. None of this is really relevant, but I guess I can...
I'd like to know a little more about you. All I know is you live in a dump, you have an oracle, and you...
I'm not sure what to tell you. One day has bled into the next for so long I feel like I've been lost in the spaces in between.
Wow, that's a bit dramatic.
Yeah, well, it comes naturally. Music and the arts were once under my purview as a god.
How did that get decided? Did you have a big hat full of pieces of paper and you all picked at random?
No, we chose them for ourselves. Some, at least. Others were given to us by our priests. We collected godly responsibilities like marbles.
People collect marbles?
Oh, or whatever it is mortals collect these days. Cars, perhaps? The point is, we took our godly duties very seriously.
You must have been very different back when you were a proper god.
I think most of us were. We saw ourselves as, I don't know, teachers. Mortals were our students, and we guided them to enlightenment. We thought we were special, infallible. I was as magnificent as the sun, and I surrounded myself with those who basked in my radiance.
That doesn't sound like you.
Yeah. I was arrogant. If there was a man or woman I desired, then I had to have them, or there would be consequences. You wouldn't have liked me. I wouldn't have liked me.
So what is Persephone's beef with you exactly? Is it just about what Hades did to her?
That's no small thing.
It seems more personal than that.
I mentioned how Persephone's kidnapping almost meant war between Olympus and Hades, yes? Well, while this was all going on, Persephone managed to escape the underworld, and I'm the one she encountered first.
Uh-oh.
Hades was hot on her heels, and I had a choice. Either do battle with Hades and start the war right then and there, or let him take her back. Zeus would have had my head if I had sparked a war. Yet all I still think of are Persephone's eyes as Hades smugly took back his prisoner. It's not my finest moment.
Apollo, have you ever tried, I don't know, talking to someone about how you feel?
I will never understand this modern fascination with therapy and focusing on one's feelings.
It might help. You never know.
Yes, I've tried it. There was one I used to speak to. Hecate enchanted him never to reveal what I told him. I don't know that unburdening myself to the man helped. He wasn't exactly trained for this sort of problem.
It is kind of hard to relate to a god, sure.
I do appreciate the thought. But I'm afraid muddling through is as good as it gets for us.
Tell me more about Calliope. You and her were good friends, right?
For centuries, we were far more. I was the god of the arts, and the muses were my constant companions. We went everywhere together. They had many names, but the three most common were Clio, Talia, and Calliope. The Sisters of Beauty, I called them, though they weren't always women.
I never thought of that. Do idols change gender a lot?
Most of us seek out inheritors who are like us, I suppose, but not all. Calliope, in fact, was a man in her previous incarnation. Christoph, I think his name was. A poet Calliope adored. I was surprised when she made him a muse.
Who did Calliope become after that poet, Christoph?
You have to realize we're already into the period where Calliope and I weren't really speaking. She showed up one day in her new form, the one you met. An opera singer whose name she never revealed. We fought, as I recall. I told her she couldn't pass on every time she met an artist she fell in love with. Eventually she'd forget everything about who we were and where we came from. She said she'd rather forget than wallow in old memories like I or the other idols were doing. It was time to wake up and make the best of our situation. Calliope was an idealist without compromise. Always. She hated what we'd become. What I'd become. She wasn't wrong.
From how you describe it, you and Calliope fought a lot.
As often as we saw each other, which became less and less as time wore on. However, she fought with everyone. Calliope hated the idols being kept secret. She and Athena would get into screaming matches over the rules, and it got so I could no longer protect her. She moved out of Olympus years ago and kept to herself. I just assumed she was wrapped up with some new artist when I got the news.
Do you regret not making up with her?
Every day I think about our last conversation and what I should have said or done differently. The problem with immortality is that you think you have all the time in the world.
It wasn't only fighting with Calliope, right? Surely there were good things, too.
Is that how it sounds? No. She was marvelous. A force to be reckoned with if there ever was one. In the darkest days during the war, it was her songs that gave us hope. She kept Aphrodite alive through sheer determination, I think. Calliope cared. About us, about art, about people she'd only just met. It was her greatest strength as well as her greatest weakness.
I wonder why she picked me. I don't feel like I'm any of those things.
You underestimate yourself, Grace. I see a lot of her in you. She chose well.
I'd like to know a little more about the idols. I am one now, right?
You are. What would you like to know?
Well, what are we? Where did we come from? If an idol is a soul that moves from person to person, it must have started somewhere, right?
The short answer is, we don't know. If I think far enough back, I can remember bits and pieces. I remember my first Pythian games, the day the idols split in two over Troy, the day my first son died. But before that, nothing. None of us do. I vaguely recall the very first Apollo many thousands of years ago, but was he the original? Did he appear out of the ether? I couldn't tell you.
Psst. Isn't it strange to not know where you come from? For all you know, the idols could be aliens.
Interesting. The notion that there might be some other place far away where we're the norm is comforting. Sadly, our memories are filled with blanks. There was a war with beings we called the Titans. A terrible conflict where half our number died, yet do I remember a single battle. The last was after Rome fell. Zeus called us together to relay the news, told us to prepare for battle. And then, in the blink of an eye, I was in the 16th century. What made us forget 1,000 years? What happened during that time? We don't know. Athena calls that period the gap.
The gap you mentioned. What was that like? Did you just wake up one day, or...?
I know I was alive. I passed on my eidolon who knows how many times, yet the moment I woke up, as you call it, all memory of that period was gone. It was Athena who found us. I was in France, I think. She came to my farm, and the moment I laid eyes on her, I just knew. It all came back. Did someone do that to us? Did we scatter to the winds for 1,000 years on purpose? It's a mystery.
What about Athena? I mean, she's the one who found you, right? She must have been aware.
Athena claims she awoke on her own and spent the next century locating the other idols. We've pieced together very little of the gap or of our origins. We simply live with it. Gods we may be, but I'm afraid we don't have all the answers.
Earlier you mentioned your son dying. Did I hear that right? Can idols have children?
It was rare, but yes. Back in ancient times, some of them even became idols themselves.
Some of the idols are actually family, then?
Not anymore. Most of our children met terrible ends. A gift of the fates, perhaps. I don't know. The ones who weren't idols. It's hard, watching your children grow old and die. Never understanding why they can't have the same immortality you do, why you can't grant it to them. My first son is why I'm not permitted in Hades any longer. Let's simply say that most idols have stopped having children, and maybe leave it at that.
That's all I can think of for now. I'll see you around?
Of course. I look forward to it.
Okay, not gonna lie, I kind of regretted going to that. That was a lot of backstory that I didn't really need to know about, but I mean, I suppose that's good for you viewers to hear a little bit of the backstory of the game and the characters and all that kind of stuff, to see what we're stepping into. But as for me, that was just kind of an awful lot of dialogue that really wasn't crucial to the story of the game. Just kind of like backstory to the characters, I suppose.
Fancy party? Check. Bunch of strangers? Check. Grace totally not dressed for the occasion? Check. Now, if only I knew what I was supposed to be doing here.
Grace, you made it. I'm so glad. I was beginning to wonder.
You didn't say this was a fancy party. I feel a little underdressed.
Grace, look at me. I didn't even button up my shirt. It's fine.
Why is everyone so quiet? You'd think someone died.
I should have told you about this earlier. I've been putting it off.
You're cute when you're all angsty. You get this little crinkle in your forehead.
You might not think I'm so cute after I explain. You don't have any of Calliope's memories, right? No deja vu, recollections that aren't your own?
No. Should I have?
Not right away. For a while, you won't remember anything. We call it the veil. In time, the veil will start to lift, slowly at first, but eventually you'll remember almost everything Calliope did.
Seems like the sort of thing you should tell a new idol.
New idols are usually chosen. You would know about this already, except...
Except Calliope was murdered.
Well, remember how old we all are. There are so many memories, so the veil lifts gradually to protect you. Eventually, it's like a flood. It becomes difficult to separate what's you and what's them, and all who came before them.
I have a hard time believing I'll forget who I am.
You won't stop being you. You'll just also be everyone else who isn't you.
Yeah, I don't buy it.
I understand. Take some time to let it sink in. If you like, we can talk about it later.
What does this have to do with the party?
Aphrodite hasn't been the same since we came to the New World. She has horrific memories of what she endured during the war. Passing on her eidolon is a way to forget, for a while. That's what this party is for.
She doesn't have any other options? Therapy, pills, social media?
If you think she hasn't tried all those things, perhaps you could ask her about them.
It just seems extreme, doesn't it?
Yes. Yes, it is. It is, however, an extreme situation. For idols, our memories can become a prison. This is how Aphrodite chooses to escape.
Do you support what Aphrodite is doing here?
It's not my choice to make, Grace.
Yeah, but you must have an opinion.
Eventually, you will remember what we experienced during the war. And eventually you will remember that what Aphrodite experienced was far worse. If this is the mercy she requires, I will not tell her she should not take it.
This isn't the first time Aphrodite's done this. She's held this kind of gathering before, right?
This is her fourth, I think, perhaps fifth.
So every time the veil, whatever you call it, when it starts to lift...
Aphrodite's memories return, and eventually it is too much. We gather to pay our respects and to honor the past. Well, she still remembers it.
Wait. Calliope refused to come to these parties. That's what you said.
She refused on principle. Everything Calliope did was on principle. She believed Aphrodite was indulging her sadness, wallowing in it. She thought Aphrodite should try harder. It was a point of contention between them. Aphrodite will be grateful you're here. Trust me.
I don't know, Apollo. I don't like the whole idea.
You want her help, don't you?
Yes, but...
At least speak with Aphrodite before you make a final decision. She's not here just yet. Until she arrives, I suggest mingling.
Mingling?
Yeah, mingling. Talk to Eros. Or we can talk more if you like. Just try to relax, Grace?
Sure, yeah. Relax. That's what this party is for, right?
All right, so there is, as in most scenes in this game, there is a musical number per each scene, and of course, once Aphrodite shows up, there will be a musical number. And again, as I said, the musical numbers are fully interactive, and they're normally kind of like hard rockish. You know, it's a bit of until you end up way later on in the game, we end up in hell, and that's when everything becomes all heavy metal-ish. Anyway, let's continue.
Grace!
Hey, Eros. Nice to... Oh. Okay.
Aphrodite will be so happy you're here. It means so much, you have no idea.
Are you okay? You seem a bit...
Every time she does this, I don't know how to handle it. I almost want to run upstairs and demand she stop. Remind her that this never works. Sorry, I shouldn't unload on you. It's been a bad week.
No, it's okay. It sounds like a bad situation.
Yeah, I guess you wouldn't know much about it, would you? I take care of Aphrodite. Ever since we came to the New World, I'm with her. Every single day. I'm there for the nightmares, the panic attacks, the days she doesn't even remember the war's over. And now I'm arranging her gathering again, so she can die again. And I'll watch it all again.
Is it okay if I ask what happened? I don't mean to pry, but I'm new. I really don't know.
I know, but it happened to Aphrodite, not me. It's not my story to tell.
That's fair. It's really not my business.
No, it is. I mean, it's not, but she does want you here. So you need to know. What happened is that Brother Ares happened. He missed out on the first world-spanning war, you see, so he was damned if he'd miss out on the next one. He found some jackbooted mortals, so full of themselves and their supremacy, and he told them about the idols. Then they came for us. Took us completely by surprise. Some they killed, but Aphrodite, her they captured.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh.
Aphrodite was captured, but she's here now. So she must have escaped.
She didn't. Do you know the name Hephaestus?
No. Should I?
God of smiths. He could make anything, any tool or weapon. He was Aphrodite's husband, and he adored her. When he found out the mortals were torturing her, he went mad. He was determined to save her.
Wait, they tortured her?
Nothing extreme, I'm told. They were too frightened, but they were also determined to wring every last secret out of her. So, who knows how long that fear would have lasted. Thus, Hephaestus made a deal.
With the, jackbooted guys?
No, with their enemies. That's what saved her.
Then this deal is how Aphrodite survived.
It's how we all survived. It's what brought us to the New World. Hephaestus saved us all. We never saw him again. That was the deal. He would leave, make their precious weapons, and never look back. Aphrodite never even got to say goodbye. It's funny, because Aphrodite didn't even like Hephaestus when they were married. She seemed to resent every minute they were together. But now he's all she can think about.
Is there no other way? Does Aphrodite really need to...
To die? I've asked that so many times. She's tried magic, drugs, psychotherapy, meditation, everything we could possibly think of. For a while, she'll deny anything's wrong. It all seems fine, and I start to hope. Maybe this time will be different. Then the nightmares begin, and the memories return. More with each passing day until... I hate it, but I see her agony. I can't deny her this.
Maybe I just don't understand, but... Isn't this... like suicide?
Some of the idols have committed suicide. They let themselves die without passing on their eidolon.
What happens?
What you'd expect. They're gone. Forever. Mother says she can't do that. She won't. Not until she sees Hephaestus again, I suspect. Not that what's happening here is anything casual. She still has to die. For a while.
Maybe I shouldn't ask, but is there any way to change Aphrodite's mind?
You say that as if I haven't tried. If only... She'll ask you to use your power as part of the celebration. Could you use it to inspire her?
I can't force anyone to do anything they don't want to, Eros.
That's not what I'm asking. I believe that, deep down, she doesn't want to do this any longer. She must see it isn't working. She just needs the strength to try. Or I hope that's all she needs.
I'll try, if you think it'll do some good.
I don't know if it will. I just find it hard to believe it could get any worse.
Famous last words.
Tell me about it. Do whatever you think is right, Grace. And thank you.
Now, again, the voice actor who plays Eros, the guy we were just talking to, is he's the voice actor for Bayek, if any of you have played Assassin's Creed Origins. That's who is voicing Eros in this.
I know all these people, Grace. For as long as I can remember, I've known them. Yet sometimes I feel like I don't know any of them at all. Or they me.
I spoke to Eros. He's pretty broken up over all this.
Oh, poor Eros. Each new successor, his hopes rise up once more. And then he watches the new Aphrodite crumble, piece by piece, only to start all over again. It's so different from the olden days. Once he was the eternal disaster, and Aphrodite kept constant vigil over him.
Maybe he feels like he owes her.
I think he's followed her into a dark void, and somewhere, deep down, believes he deserves no better.
You don't enjoy these family gatherings, do you?
Are they family gatherings? Like the sort mortals have?
You call each other sister and brother and mother.
Well, yes, but...
And you've been together like 100 times longer than I lived with my family. All you're missing is a drunk uncle everyone has to apologize for.
That would be Pan. But yes, I feel very much out of place.
You look like you're in physical pain just being here.
Oh, enjoying my discomfort, are you?
Of course, it humanizes you. Makes up for all the abs on display.
Well, so glad you approve.
I should get back out there.
My family. Having you all here, gathered once again to see me off, it moves me. More than I can say. My loves, my darlings, my dearest friends. And you. Oh, my dear sweet thing. I dare not hope that you, with all your troubles, might sing me to my sleep. Yet here you are. Yet here she is. Huh.
It's lovely to meet you, Aphrodite. Properly, this time.
Ah, yes. Poor Calliope. Such a loss to us all. I shall miss her dearly. To have come so far, only... No, it doesn't bear thinking about. It's too much.
Is this Grace, my lady? The new muse?
Oh! What manners I have! Grace, Grace, meet the lovely mortal woman who shall tonight become the new me.
Hi, my name's Venus, and yes, it really is Venus. Nice to meet you, Grace.
Yeah, hi. Nice to meet you.
We'll both be new at this, huh? Maybe we could get together and compare notes if you,
Survive my trial?
Yeah. Lady Aphrodite told me. I shouldn't have brought that up. I'm sorry.
There will be so much time for you lovelies to speak later. Now, we must prepare for my departure.
Are you sure we can't talk first? I really need your help, Aphrodite.
I know you do, my dear. I wish I could be there for you, but I'm afraid my time is up. But since you've shown such kindness in coming, I will ask Eros to make himself available to you afterwards. There's nothing I know that he does not. He is my son, my truest friend, my longest love.
Won't he be... a little distracted?
Eros has been through this before, Grace. He knows what must be done.
I have to admit, it's not clear what my part in all this is supposed to be.
How could it be? You've barely just arrived, darling girl. How did you even find out about it?
That would be my doing.
Apollo! Oh, you've come after all.
You look remarkably well, cousin.
I've had a great deal of time to prepare. I assure you that would not be the case. As for you, Grace, have you gathered the true purpose of tonight's gathering?
To ease your suffering? To forget about what happened?
An escape into the soothing blackness. To swim in Lethean waters, at least for a time.
Does it help?
I don't know. Each Aphrodite before me begged for mercy. This is all I can do for all of us. Even so, tonight is not about the pain. It is about honoring the memory of what was while that memory still persists. Go, enjoy the gathering, Grace. Tell me when you're ready to begin.
So we're gonna try talking to Venus and try to talk her out of this.
Really messed up. It looks like I'll be doing that a lot. Lady Aphrodite said I'm ready, but I don't know.
Having second thoughts? If so, now's probably the time to mention it.
I would never do that to Lady Aphrodite. I'm just nervous.
That's understandable.
If I can ask, what does it feel like after it happens? Do you feel different?
I was so scared at the time, I didn't know what to think. I had no idea who Calliope really was.
You didn't remember anything? About her? Who she was? She was just gone?
Yeah. Isn't that the point of all this?
I just wanted to be sure. Sometimes it doesn't seem like it could be real.
Your name's really Venus, huh?
Everybody asks me that. Even the other idols. Maybe that's why Lady Aphrodite noticed me in the first place. She says it was fated to be. I say it's because my mama was a diehard hippie.
How do you know Aphrodite exactly?
So I was working at this homeless shelter, right? A couple of years ago, and she came in with one of the older residents. And she was there in this, amazing dress. And she's sitting with this guy and really listening to him. Like they were old friends or something. I just thought, what is someone like her doing in a place like this? So, I just went over and introduced myself.
That's it? Just like that?
Yeah. She came back to the shelter a few times, but by then, I guess she'd taken an interest in me instead.
Are you really okay with all this? You know what's gonna happen, right?
I saw a lot of people in crisis at the shelter. I knew something was wrong with Lady Aphrodite. She's in so much pain, Grace. She won't let you see how much. Eros called me one night desperate. She wouldn't stop screaming. She didn't know where she was. She's a good person, Grace. A good soul. She deserves mercy.
But don't you feel this is wrong? I mean, you're ending your life. It's like some kind of murder-suicide pact.
I don't think of it like that. Lady Aphrodite is not committing suicide, and I'm not being murdered.
Aren't you? Your life is ending. It's being taken over, swallowed up by Aphrodite's grief.
I'm becoming part of something bigger. Something amazing. Or maybe you're right. It'll be terrible, and I'll end up in so much pain I'll regret it.
So why go through with it?
Because Lady Aphrodite needs me. Maybe, just maybe, if I'm added into the mix of all the people she's been, maybe things will be different.
Back again.
I don't think I'll have a chance to talk to Aphrodite. Not before, you know.
I was hoping she might have spared a moment.
What should I do?
You have two choices, Grace. Either you do as she asks and sing her to her rest.
At which point Venus won't have Aphrodite's memories yet.
Or you somehow convince her to remain with us and hope she's grateful.
And doesn't regret it. Or get angry at me for ruining her party.
Do what you feel is right. It's a risk either way.
Have you spoken with Venus? She seems really...
Nice, earnest, a genuinely good person.
Yeah, I suppose.
It's not an accident. Ever since the war, Aphrodite has sought out the kindest, the most innocent souls to be her successors. She chooses them because she believes that over time, it might make her a better person. A more worthy person.
Wouldn't it be better if she chose people who were, I don't know, more resilient?
I suppose that depends on your definition of strength, Grace.
I should get back out there.
I have tried so hard. fought for so long. But in the end, I must bid you all farewell once again. But before I go, I would like us all to remember the sacrifices that brought us here to this strange new world. This time, it is with the help of our lovely muse that we shall be guided. We let them rise. We let it happen. We waited far too long. We thought we shouldn't intervene. We were wrong. We were wrong. Since the beginning we were hidden. We held court from up above. 'Twas the golden age of reason, and I the queen of love. But a plague of hate was spreading, and there were vultures standing by. Before we fell to our knees begging, we fell from the sky. We let them rise, we let it happen. We waited far too long. We thought we shouldn't intervene. We were wrong. We were wrong. Our so-called brother Ares sold his soul forevermore. He so loved our military, he became their dog of war. He denounced his loving family, and with mortal guns and greed, on a plate gladly delivered everything that war dogs need. He betrayed us and we let him, and with their mortal souls long gone, we thought we were untouchable. We were wrong. We were wrong. I see you have the power. It's a poisonous reward. My virtues only scorn me when I was once adored. Loved by every mortal, then ripped from paradise. No one suffered greater till he made his sacrifice. The man that I ignored saved me when I fell. Yes, the husband I abhorred rescued me from hell. I thought it was a joke when it was said to me. He struck a deal with our enemy's enemy, made a secret weapon so my captors let me go. He gave up his freedom, leaving just a memory, and this love I'll never know is what he gave to me.
I gotta say that I'm amazed I held my tongue for so long. Not such a fan of this old plan, but who's to say that you're wrong? Now should I gotta erase a memory when there's no chance of changing history? This guy that sacrificed his life so you can live in his place, wish he'd drop by, cause man, I'd die to see the look on his face. You try to hide from your reality, but then come back with regularity. And if you notice a disparity, then what's the meaning of his legacy? Everybody. Who gives a damn about your suffering? Everybody. Who wants to see you be yourself again? Everybody. Who feels your pain in case you're wondering? Everybody. You got the time, but it's the stuttering. Everybody wants to see you fall in love.
I can't place your face, so let me give you a hand. An idol should embrace the things they don't understand. And you don't get it,
My mind's a falling city, buildings crumbling down. What is more the pity? All I hear is the sound. Bombs blanketing the ground. A screaming so profound. And you want to play around. Will you offend? Everybody is insulted by your acrimony. Everybody wants to wallow in my testimony. Everybody. So who is ready for the ceremony? Everybody. I'll be siding with the everybody.
Everybody wants to see you fall in love.
I never thought you'd let it get this way. I stood by watching what we've built decay. We're just pretending that the ending is near. Mother, isn't it clear? Your family's here. Everybody can see the agony you're going through. Everybody knows the goddess is inside of you. Everybody keeps repeating what they're meant to do. Everybody, I've got to stop it just to prove to you. Everybody wants to see you fall in love.
Everybody, who's gonna help me overcome the war? Everybody, who's gonna be there when I'm on the floor? Everybody, who's gonna cry when I walk out the door? Everybody, 'cause I'm not gonna do this anymore. Everybody wants to see you, wants to see you fall in love again.
Mother, is it true? You've chosen to...
Live. I have chosen to live. I'm so sorry, Venus. I made you so many promises, dearest, and I won't be able to keep them.
My lady, all I ever wanted was for you to be happy. If this is your wish, I'll be with you at every step.
I as well. Always.
I hope none of us regret this choice in the days to come. But thank you.
It has to be better than doing the same thing over and over.
Does it? It could also be far worse.
Don't talk like that, Mother. We can fight this.
I'm so very tired, my loves, but I will. I'll try. Now then, Grace. You needed my help. No doubt regarding Calliope's death. Have you any suspicions as to who might be responsible?
I was, thinking maybe Pan.
Pan? Kill Calliope? Tish tosh, I don't believe it.
He showed up at my apartment right after I left Athena's office. He's very suspicious.
You favor him too much, Mother.
I happen to feel there are entities among us far more sinister.
You're thinking of Medusa, aren't you?
Wait, hold the phone. That chick who turns people into stone?
Yeah, that's the one.
She works for Athena as a watcher. She's everywhere, lurking in the shadows. If you look anywhere, Grace, start with her.
Come now, Mother. It's time you rested. It's been a long night.
If I don't, I suppose you'll both gang up on me again. Very well.
So, did they have anything helpful?
Maybe. What do you know about Medusa?
I know she's dangerous, but she does Athena's bidding.
How sure are you of that?
I'm not sure of anything any longer. You aren't thinking of seeking her out, I hope.
I have to. How else will I find out what she knows?
You need to be careful, Grace. Medusa is not to be toyed with. Athena employs her as a spy master, a hound to do her bidding, a vicious hound at that. Athena's not likely to tell either of us where to find Medusa. I can't say for certain who would know. Are you all right, Grace? You seem troubled.
What Aphrodite went through, it's a lot.
Yeah, that's the funny thing about the life of an immortal. It never ends.
Wow. Way to really sell it, Apollo.
You really are amazing, you know that? Every hurdle, every piece of unpleasant news, you just keep on going. I don't know how you do it.
Uh-huh. You going somewhere with this, Apollo?
I just wish I could see the world through your eyes. Next to you, I feel very old.
How about you come with me sometime? Let me show you the world I see.
A tempting offer.
Sounds kind of corny, huh?
It really doesn't. I would love that. Can we go now?
Hey, I'm game if you are.
Take my hand for a minute. Let your hair down for a second. There's so much to like if you open your eyes. If you try to search for the light, you might be surprised. No, it's not hard to find. The courage you need to be joyful is something you build over time. No matter what I do, the answer's in you. But I will be here for the ride. Yes, I will be here for the ride.
I'll take your hand for a minute. Oh, it's more than I feel I deserve. It could grow on me, this world that you see. Yet I've been alive for too long. 1,000 years of learning about what could go wrong. I'm tired of being wrong.
Apollo, I'm sure you've had it rough. 1,000 years of life is hard, but easier with someone like me to lean on. The courage you need to be joyful.
I appreciate the campaign.
Something I'll come help you find.
If I ever let her know.
No matter what I do, the answer's in me.
The answer's in
I'll
me.
hold your hand all the way.
The courage you need to be joyful is something you build over time. No matter what I do, the answer's in you. I will be here for the ride. Yes, I will be here for the ride.
Alrighty, and that's where I think we're going to end this stream. We've been streaming for about 3 hours and 9 minutes. So, thank you very much to Always Sleep and everybody else who watched today the Stray Gods musical adventure RPG game. This is out for the PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, PC. I don't know if it's on the Switch, but yeah. All in all, I really like this game.
It is intriguing. I will watch more if you carry on with it.
Well, no, I'm definitely going to be continuing it, just not tonight. But it's honestly really good. It gets really good. The music is amazing. Like, it's really good. And I was reading an interview with the creator of the game. So this game, as I said, is entirely Kickstarter funded. It's a very indie game. I did read an interview with the writer-director, and he said that 90% of the musical scores were improv'd by the actual voice actors. So instead of actually giving them like lyrics, he had them come up with their own lyrics. So he basically told them like key things. Like he'd say like, oh, okay, so this scene is about this, or that scene is about that, or this is what your character's about. And they literally improv'd their own music based on all of that. So it's really cool, and it really works out. And it's nice to be able to hear Troy. So Troy Baker is voicing Apollo in this. Troy Baker is best known as Joel in the Last of Us games. It's interesting because all along I've heard that, oh no, he's a really good singer, but you never actually got to see him sing in any video game. He was always just, a serious role. So it's really interesting to hear his actual singing voice in this game, because he has quite a few numbers. And he is definitely a good singer, that's for sure. Anyway, that's it for me, guys. I hope you have a wonderful night and a wonderful weekend. And we will definitely continue more of this probably on Monday, or maybe even tomorrow. I'll probably come back with this tomorrow, actually, because it's actually one of my favorite games so far this year. And then next month we will be covering the brand new RoboCop game when it comes out, which actually stars Peter Weller, the original actor who played RoboCop in the movies, and quite a few other actors are involved in that game as well, who were in the original movies. So we're going to be covering that as well. But yeah, I think tomorrow we'll come back for more of Stray Gods. It is a really intriguing story. It's really cool that, she is suddenly thrust into this world. She never thought she would amount to anything. Suddenly she's now considered a god, but she has a week to solve Calliope's murder, or else the gods will kill her. So it's a really interesting story, to say the least, and there is a lot more twists and turns ahead. We will end up in hell at one point, fighting demons and stuff. So it's going to be really interesting, and I hope you guys will all join me for that. We'll probably continue with more of that tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And again, until then, you guys have a wonderful night and a wonderful rest of your weekend, and I'll see you soon at the Gamer's Grotto. Take care once again, have a wonderful night, and remember to check out my playlist section if you missed any of the previous live streams. I cover a lot of games, PS4, PS5, PSVR, and PC. If any of that interests you, consider liking and subscribing, and I will see you soon. Take care.